You're gonna slap.
Jayla. Put your scarf on. You ready? Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallahu wahdahu la sharika lahu wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in amma ba'd. We're going to read from the Quran, and this is Surah 60, ayahs 23 and 24. Usually we start at 22. So we'll start at 21. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Had we sent down this Quran on a mountain, verily thou wouldst have seen it humble itself and cleave asunder for fear of Allah. Such are the similitudes which we propound as to humans, that they may reflect. Allah is He in whom there is no other God, who knows all things, both secret and open. He is the most gracious, the most merciful. Allah is He than whom there is no other God, the Sovereign, the Holy One, the source of peace and perfection, the guardian of faith, the preserver of safety, the exalted in might, the irresistible, the supreme. Glory to Allah. High is He above the partners they attribute to Him. He is Allah, the Creator, the Evolver, the Bestower of forms or colors. To Him belong the most beautiful names. Whatever is in the heavens and on earth does declare His praises and glory. And He is the exalted in might, the wise. Sadaqallahu alayhi. Surely Allah, the Most High, speaks the truth. When we read Quran, especially about Allah, Allah gives us such attributes and examples of His might and His power. When Muslims talk about God, they're not talking about some mysterious figure that rolls around in smoke beyond the moon or something. They're talking about an entity that is impossible for us to grasp with our human minds. But the point is that there is a definite relationship that Allah has with us, and that is His supremacy. So, as humans, we always like to gravitate towards that which is strong, especially men. Then women want to follow brothers that are strong. They got a swagger about them, they stand up and they act like they can knock anybody out, And so, this is human nature. It's not until the woman really matures to find out that a lot of these brothers have no sense. And they get stuck in a jam for life. And then they realize, well, I should have been talking to so-and-so and so-and-so. But the point is that there's something innate in us that wants us to gravitate towards something stronger, especially stronger than us. Men do the same thing. They gravitate towards other men that demonstrate strength. I mean, you see Muhammad Ali in a fight, you see him dancing, the brother be sitting there with his popcorn or whatever, and all of a sudden he jump up, yeah, that's it, get him. He start dancing, yeah, dab. Because we feel that energy. We feel that energy. And that's why it's so important for little boys to have fathers, or uncles, or big brothers, or somebody to be in their life, to show them how to channel that desire that they have, channel that energy, so that they can grow up to be productive. So when we talk about Allah, we're talking about that which gave us life, that which allowed us to come into existence. So for the Muslim, we understand that we can't put all our, what's that saying? Put all your eggs in one basket. We can't put all of our expectations and energy into some leader or into somebody we know that appears to be strong. We say, well, I'm going to follow that brother. I'm going to follow that sister. We can't do that. And if the leader is true, He will always point to Allah. Will always point to Allah. So all that leader did was get us on the road to seeing Allah as the God, the absolute, the eternal. That's why when the brother called the Imam, he said, there is no God but Allah. And Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. Hayya ala salat, hayya ala falah. So the instructions for the Muslim is to whatever we do and however we do it, we should always have Allah as the focal point. And especially for young people, it's difficult because young people, they what they think called peer pressure. You know, they want to be accepted by their friends, and this is a terrible time for them because like I was saying before, if their friends express some type of independent strength about it, they will go that way. That's why the Muslim community is so important. If we don't have a strong Muslim community, we're going to lose our kids. If they see a whole lot of arguing and fighting and stupidity going on, just like was in the church, they're going to go outside and say, them niggas ain't doing nothing in there. And they're going to get stuck, they're going to get lost, and they're going to put it in trap. And who is to blame? Who is to blame? Every child in here and every child that belongs to this community and every child that you know that's a Muslim, it's your child. That's your brother and that's your sister. When you see them, they should see you in the right light. When you talk to them, you should talk to them and build up their spirit, build up their strength. You should never think that, oh, I hope he didn't see me. Hope he didn't see me get that bottle of wine. I hope he don't smell that weed on me. You know, that's stupid. But these are the things that we do. These are the things that happen. This is the reality. But the reality is Allah. Allah is the reality. And when we leave this existence called life, we go back to Allah. And everything we did or didn't do will be questioned and laid out in the book, and we will be questioned. Our soul will be questioned. We need to hear more of this kind of talk. We get into, I'm a Sunni, I'm a Salafi, I'm a Shiite, I'm a this, I'm a, so what? When we close our last eye, we close it last time, and our soul goes back to Allah, we're going to be questioned. And believe me, the question ain't going to have nothing to do with a whole lot of off-center BS. Off-center, that's all it is, off-center BS. And if we look at the quote-unquote Muslim world, 99% of them is off-center BS. They done got affected by Western civilization. How can I have the Quran, the Word of God, and I'm broke, I'm uneducated, I don't have no clothes, I'm walking around barefooted, and if I go to America, I send my kids to America to get education, and these people see everybody doing everything and being happy. All you got to do is turn on television, everybody's happy. They go into the casino, they're happy. They go into the fights, they're happy. They go into the football game, they're happy. They drinking and they gambling, they doing everything. So here's the Muslim with the Quran, and here's the savage beast, you know, the great Satan, and everybody's happy. They got cars, they got friends. Don't you know that's a hell of a challenge? And I'll tell you this quick story. I was at a training for undoing institutionalized racism, and there was a brother in there from overseas somewhere. So everybody was telling where they were from, you know. I said, well, I'm from South Jersey, I'm from New York, I'm from so-and-so. Where are you from? He said, I'm Arabic. And nobody said nothing. I called him, what do you mean? Arabic ain't no country. Where you from, man? So he never gave me a straight answer. Then I met him at the Y. We was going to the Y, and I kept seeing him at the Y. And he pulled me over one day. He said, man, I got to tell you, man. You know, he told me he was homosexual, see. And that's why he didn't want to get exposed too much of himself. And I said, well, what about the Quran? This is what he said. He said, my grandmother memorized the Quran. She used to teach me the Quran when I was a little boy. He said, but they old-fashioned. She lived in a little village. They all dirt poor and don't have nothing. And I'm over here now, and I got this, and I got that, and I got this. But he adopted the ways of the Western world. And he became homosexual, and everybody supported him, and now he's happy-go-lucky. He's happy-go-lucky. On the straight train to the hellfire. On the straight train, express train to the hellfire. But he abandoned this because he didn't see no worldly progress in his grandmother, who was memorizing and was reading it to him every day. So this thing is complicated. You know, they heard that term about peeling onions. You know, you peel a layer, and there's another layer, you peel a layer, the layer's so thin, you got to be careful. You peel it, keep peeling it, keep peeling it, keep peeling it. That's the way it is with life. Something might look one way, and it's not that way. And Allah tells us that he judges us by intentions. Intentions. A person may be doing something and you say, oh, that's the most beautiful brother in the world. Look at how he gives zakat. Look at how he gives, and his intentions was to fool you, to fool us. You know, the government's paying him to be whatever, agent or whatever. But the point is, on the day of judgment, the hadith says you see people going to the fire and you'll be saying, well, how did you get there? And he'll be following, he'll be saying, because I didn't do what I told you to do. So what I'm saying is we individually have to, sometimes we just have to sit down and think and figure things out for how we're going to live our life, how we're going to plan our life. Because it's a personal relationship. You know, the Christians say I have a personal relationship with Jesus. Do you have a personal relationship with Jesus? We have to have a personal relationship with Allah. We have to have a personal relationship with Allah. And that's how we're going to make it. That's how we're going to find satisfaction. So let us close this first part. Please join me with the doors. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanatan wa fil akhirati hasanatan wa qina adhaban nar. Our Lord, grant us good in this life and good in the hereafter, and save us from the fires of hell and uncontrolled passions. Amen. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. As-salatu wa-salamu ala rasulihi kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and mubad. Some current events. You know, before we talked about Iran, was talking about giving reparations, setting up a plan to give reparations to African Americans, Iran and Venezuela. Also, we talked about Iran had a postage stamp of Malcolm X. Now Turkey comes out with the name of the street after Malcolm X. A street that's going straight down to, I think, the American Embassy over there. The name of the street of Malcolm X. So, where do diamonds come from? You know, they come from black coal under pressure over a long period of time. That's where diamonds come from. And once a diamond is formed, once they cut it and shape it, and you buy it, a diamond is forever. If it's pure diamond, it's forever. And but it didn't start out like that. So here we have luminaries like Malcolm X. You know, and I ask people all the time, I say, what school of thought was Malcolm X under? And they try to latch on to Malcolm after he went overseas. And some of the sheikhs come up to him, you know, and they talk about, well, he can teach Islam. But when he went to Hajj, that was a long time, and he was a Muslim doing his thing in America and represented America and represented Africans and represented Islam in the world long before that. So the question is who was teaching him these things? Nobody wants to talk about that because I'm talking about the immigrants because they can't lay claim to it. They can't lay claim to it. And it was the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Imam Wafdi Muhammad. that was responsible for that. It was Allah was responsible. Let's not get it mixed up. But the actual teachers, the actual ones that sat him down and wrote down things and taught him. Plus, people like Malcolm X had the spirit. They had the deen al-fitra. They had the fitra. They had the nature in them to want to be free and recognized as a human being. So when the man was in the penitentiary, he was so anti-humanity, his name was Satan. It was Malcolm X, Elijah Muhammad, and brothers in the pen that turned him around. And he started studying everything he could get his hands on. And he took the dictionary. He started from A and went all the way to Z. Studied and understood every word in the entire dictionary. Now this is pressure that made the diamond. Then when Imam Waqti Muhammad came into office and turned us over to the proper understanding of the Quran, he was right there with him. He was right there with him. So, saying this to say what? When Muhammad Ali passed away, who came to his funeral? What they call it? The Prime Minister? The President? Whatever it is. Of Turkey. Had his airplane right there in the airport. This brother saw it. It's in pictures, but when somebody actually see it, you know, so who was that? That's the Prime Minister of Turkey. It's an international figure. International Muslim figure. So what am I saying? That isn't it due for us to have come out from underneath this pressure? And when we come out from underneath this pressure, shouldn't we demonstrate? Shouldn't we be an example? Beyond all this stuff these people doing out here, wearing all these clothes and wrapping up like Batman and Robin, and talking to a brother last night. I went out to the UW. This Muslim brother had an exhibit of Black History Month. And he found out I was with Imam Muhammad. And he said, you know, I came in under the Emirates. But I live in Detroit. When I would go to an event in Detroit, it was altogether different. And I said, man, I had some experiences. Man, I said, what experience did you have falling short of them calling you a nigger? And he said, that's about it. He said he had dreads. The brother told him that if he didn't cut his dreads, they was going to turn into snakes when he was in his grave. You know, stuff like that. And so he ended up, his wife was writing for the Muslim Journal. But what I'm trying to get across to us is that Allah has blessed us for our standing fast through the struggle. Allah has blessed us. Because I know, and I'm quite sure some of y'all know, of mothers and aunties and grandmothers who was hope to die Christians. But they didn't drink. They didn't cuss. They didn't allow you to cuss. And when they cooked for the whole neighborhood. And when they talked to you, especially the young men, they sat you down and talked to you and explained to you how they didn't want you to go astray. They still had it in their heart that God was the one that's guiding this thing. They have Black History Month is coming up. They have all kinds of stories about how we were treated. They had babies. They would take the savages would take babies and use the babies for alligator bait to catch alligators with our black babies. Do you think that's something that we can overlook? This is real. And Allah showed us this was not for nothing. I'm watching you, I'm looking at you, and I'm building in you power and force to go out into the world. And when you say La ilaha illallah, you're talking about something they have to read, they have to understand. And it's the same thing that happened with Bilal. They used to make fun of Bilal because he was captured and made a slave, sent to Arabia. When he heard the teachings of Muhammad, he realized that if he's going to be a slave, he's going to be Allah's slave. He can't be the slave of no man. And he took up that posture. And they put rocks on his chest right in the middle of the desert while they sat up under umbrellas with their servants fanning them and they drinking lemonade. Ants all crawling through his nose and ears. When they asked him, do you still believe in that one God now? He said, Allah. Allah is one. And then they waited some more. He said, you still believe in that one God now? He couldn't even talk. He just held up his finger. One God. One God. One God. And when the prophet heard what they was doing, he sent Abu Bakr and said, bind him. Get him out of there. Now, that's pressure. Because Allah allows us, listen to this, Allah allows us to deny our religion under pressure as long as, if it get us out of trouble for that minute, as long as we don't deny it with our heart. This is a component to keep us from getting slaughtered or killed. And you can say, I give up Islam. I give up. I was just playing. As long as you don't deny it in your heart, then come back to the Muslims. Allah allowed that of us. But Bilal didn't do that. He never did that. And what did Muhammad do? Peace and blessings of Allah be upon him. What did Muhammad do to show the entire world? He told Bilal, you stand on top of the Kaaba and call the Adhan to the people. You stand on top of the Kaaba and call the Adhan for the whole world. And when they saw Bilal, they didn't just hear his voice. They saw the man who suffered. They saw the person they used to laugh at. They saw the one who endured all kind of physical pressure. That's who they saw. Just his presence was saying, La ilaha illallah. And it's the same thing today. It's the same thing today. And I'm saying all this to say is that we have to respect ourselves as Muslims. We can't walk around following these people who don't care nothing about us. They can't tell an African from an African American, but it's white supremacy cloaked in Arab supremacy. And it's a shame. It's a damn shame. And some of our people are so anxious. They have so much self-hate in us. We can't follow one another, you know. And they see an Arab come along with a robe on and some sandals, and then, yes, shakes on. So yes, tell me, yes, what's shaking? Yeah, we'll drink milk at 7 o'clock in the morning, and then drink water at 9 o'clock, and then drink some more milk at 10 o'clock. And the Prophet Muhammad said, do that. And you'll see that, where you going? I got to get milk, the Sheikh told me. But where is this? Is this in the Quran? You see some of the silly stuff we do. But the diamond has been formed through the pressure. And we have people like Bilal. We have people like Malcolm X. We have people like Muhammad Ali. We have people like Imam Warfi Muhammad. And we have a whole lot of other people that we don't even know their names of. But they are establishing prominent movements in the Muslim world and outside of the Muslim world. And they represent us very well. But we have to study. We have to study. We have to sit down and think, okay,